What's going on YouTube? Hayden back making another brand new Crypto TV episode. In today's video, we're going to be looking at Litecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum, as well as XRP to USD. Hopefully you guys liked yesterday's video comparing Litecoin to XRP. I think it went very well. And I did like all your comments. I did read them. As you guys know, there are a ton of people, so it's hard to respond to each and every one of you. Otherwise, we will be looking at the current coin market cap, analyzing the rest of the market, kind of seeing what exactly is happening right now. Are we going to continue this retracement? Are we going to see some movement to the upside? It's a tough question, but we're going to try to answer that in today's video. Otherwise, make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, leave a giant thumbs up. We're going to be doing a giveaway at 10,000 subscribers. We're on our way to 9,800, which is absolutely phenomenal. Otherwise, let's jump right into today's episode. As you guys can see, we're on the current coin market cap, and you'll notice there's a couple of interesting things happening. So Bitcoin dominance is slightly up compared to yesterday, 55.7%. 24-hour volume is slightly up at 64 billion, and we see a market cap of $245 billion. So it's absolutely phenomenal to see all this money moving into the market. Also really cool to understand is the fact that with these market trends, and the market fluctuating like this, we're starting to see a lot of consolidation within the rest of the coins. So when I scroll down to the top 10 cryptocurrencies, you can see out of these top 10, we do have a lot of, mix. We're starting to see Bitcoin SV, tank, which is actually quite wild because Bitcoin SV was up so much, but usually when we see these massive trends, it usually falls just as hard. Now at 190, down 10%. And other than that, there's pretty much just a mixture of coins. Some are up, some are down, but majority, it's like, I'd literally say like 1%. There's really not much movement at all. Litecoin and Bitcoin Cash are very close, very, very, very close. I'd say about $400 million apart. And the coins are really not seeing much movement. It's another day of consolidation, another day of trading sideways, which ultimately leads us to checking out the charts, really understanding what exactly is going on. So to switch our focus right now to Litecoin to US dollar on Coinbase, you'll notice a very interesting pattern is happening. So it really just ultimately looks great. No, I really can't explain it enough. The fact that we're seeing a beautiful purple uptrend right here. We've been trading this, for those of you who are new to the channel, we've been watching this ascending triangle, this ascending wedge, these purple lines right here, for the longest time since the beginning of January on Litecoin, and they've been holding so true to value that it's something really, really, really great to use as a means of tracking the price and figuring out where the price is headed. So we do have this beautiful uptrend right here, and it is starting to form a ascending triangle. We have a top or a price ceiling at around 117, which has held for about a week and a half now of strong resistance, ultimately leading for a Litecoin retracement, pulling us down to around 52 on the RSI, giving us plenty of potential to head up higher. And then you'll notice we did fall actually below that ascending wedge, but closed the candle back above the uptrend, and it's now the third day of trading above here. Now, I want to make this pretty darn clear, is that this pattern looks so freaking familiar to previous levels. And I just want to say this is definitely a possibility to happen again. But you see, we had a major break to the upside. We fell down to our top support, traded up, and then fell lower. Understand this looks almost identical to this pattern. We could see now we're trading on the line and then we could fall lower. Understand this is definitely a figure of play and this could definitely happen. And honestly, what I'm going to do is most likely sell off as soon as we get up to like a little bit higher up, and then I'm going to anticipate a retracement downwards. That's really what's going to end up happening because it just looks, so similar to the last time we broke like this. So guys, keep in mind that this is definitely a possibility. It would ultimately lead us to this high-low MMA, which we would most definitely bounce off of and then start to move up higher, which it ultimately looks really nice to see that we're going to see some sort of play. History does repeat itself, and we're going to most definitely see some sort of movement like that. And if we don't, we are definitely, or not if we don't, but we are going to trade up above that. We are going to follow this uptrend here. We could see a move to 115 or 117. That is where the top resistance is. It's an ascending triangle, but I'm anticipating a retracement downwards. There is still potential for this move to go up higher, but it looks like this is the pattern that's going to happen again. We're going to see this pull back down to about $88, $90, then start to head back up to around 102, 107. But I'm anticipating trading above this ascending triangle or up on the uptrend, and then a retracement down below. Let me know what you guys think about that in the comments down below. Otherwise, guys, I'm constantly updating these charts, and If you have me on Patreon, you'll obviously get those updates too. For those of you who are new and don't know what Patreon is a way for you guys to get exclusive access to these charts with live updates. I know that was a big issue, is posting YouTube videos on a live, ever so changing market is definitely a very difficult thing. So I thought, what would be the best way to get this content out for you guys? And it would be on Patreon. Patreon, I believe, is the first link in the description. You guys are able to not only get one-on-one conversations with me because of how, crowded we are on YouTube, with the thousands and thousands of comments we get. This is the way for you guys to really get that one-on-one access with me, as well as being able to access these charts exclusively to help your trades, as well as, it's an awesome community that's growing. So I highly recommend you check that out. Otherwise, moving on to Bitcoin, you'll notice Bitcoin is starting to see sideways trading as well. I do think there is a bottom at 7,200, so it'll be interesting to see if we fall lower, retracing back down to that $7,200 level. Otherwise, trading at 7,700, we look okay, ready to go at 50 on the RSI. With now seeing this, there is definitely potential for that to be the cap on Litecoin. We don't just want to graph Litecoin, we have to graph all the cryptos, and then, with that average, that conglomerate of data, create a figure that we could potentially move to the upside or the down. Once we look at all the charts, we can't just base it off of one chart. So with Bitcoin now, Bitcoin tells a different story. Bitcoin is saying that we look beautiful on the RSI, and it gives us potential to see a run to the upside. We could potentially see more retracement lower, but we just experienced this retracement, and we could start to see movement to the upside, which would ultimately lead Litecoin to start trading up again. So that's going to be very interesting. It's nice to see that that is happening right now. And Ethereum gives me the best charting analysis, mainly because of how beautiful this is charted. We have a beautiful ascending triangle. You can see right here, resistance at the top at 270, support at the bottom at 230, and we're trading out inside of here. With this uptrend, we broke bearish, fell down to a lower level. So really, the only level I can see this coin falling to is right here. I'd be very shocked if we fell down to here at first, but definitely just a cap right over here. And then we can start to see a potential bounce like that. That's really what I'm looking for, is just consolidation within Ethereum, within these within the channel, which would ultimately move volume into the other cryptos, and they would start to follow it at the same time. So seeing movement like this would ultimately happen in both Bitcoin and Litecoin. Lastly, to wrap up today's episode with XRP, XRP is definitely an interesting coin. The fact that we're seeing sideways trading right here. We have our resistances. We have a couple channels. You can see I drew this one in yellow, mainly because it is a stronger resistance or support. In my book, I'm seeing a lot of touches. You could see previously right here, and then right there, and right here as well. So that pretty much shows me where the bottom support is. So if we do see a retracement lower, even though we are at 50 on the RSI, which is perfect, like all the other cryptos are, a retracement back down to around 36 cents would be ideal before we see a retracement to the upside. So I'm really looking to see a play like this, and then we can start to swing back upwards. There are resistances here, but they're not as strong as this yellow one. And you can see the high-low MMA is also creeping up, so that will also act as a bullish uptrend to push this price much higher. But ultimately, the rest of the cryptos do look quite nice. We're seeing Litecoin and Bitcoin start to see more movement than XRP is. XRP seems to be having more of a sideways consolidation pattern rather than Litecoin, which is literally setting, records and new highs every month within 2019. Not all-time highs, but definitely more highs than we've seen previously. So ultimately, it is great to see that we are starting to see some more uptrend within this market. Also, I want to show you guys a big factor, and then we'll wrap up today's episode, is the reason we're seeing this resistance and the reason we're seeing this negative pressure is because you'll notice we are trading right in between our high-low MMA. We finally caught up to the high-low MMA, tested overbought on Litecoin's weekly, and we also hit this red band right here. So this is the biggest giveaway. The dead giveaway is this. I don't know why it's not drawing on. There we go. So this is the dead giveaway. You can see this is where that red line cuts right through, and that's going to act as a downwards pressure. So we're stuck in between here and in between here, and this is where we're trading in between. So yeah, theoretically on the weekly, we could see a major retracement back down to $60, but Ultimately, in the short term, which we're trying to trade right now, a retracement a little bit low to where the price is currently is what we were anticipating. But understand there is a huge resistance at 117 where this red line cuts through. So that's pretty much going to wrap up the episode though for today, guys. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, leave a giant thumbs up, giveaway at 10K. I have a couple of things I want to give away. It's either going to be a big case of the Bitcoin liquid assets, a Ledger Nano X, the brand new one, or I'll give away some free Litecoin. If you have any particular one you want, definitely make sure to leave it in the comments down below. Otherwise, I'll see you in tomorrow's episode. Peace.